my scrappy friends. I have a holiday spread for you today, and this was for a blog hop, or not a blog hop, like an Instagram hop that we did this past week for SpiegelMom Scraps. I'll make sure I link to my Instagram where you can find this and see more close-ups. But I had a lot of fun making this, and I am also using my Click Kit, the card holiday kit. So right now you're just seeing me play around because I'm not really exactly sure how I want to do the spread, but playing around is always a good way to just kind of get an eye for what your spread is kind of looking like. And yeah. And all I know is that I'm using this photo of some sequins from SpiegelMom Scraps because yeah, I like using pictures of fun and pretty things. And a traveler's notebook is a good place to put stuff like this, I think, because sometimes you don't want just a layout of like all these random things that you love. Like, as much as it's fun to see, it's kind of nice to see all this random stuff that you like all in one place. So you're going to see me whip out some mixed media stuff, and I'm going to work on a couple of um, of these doilies that are from the shop. And so I'm spraying them with some shimmers. I used, I think, Scarlet Fever, and I'm going to add some gold to it. And then I'm also using some of this green stuff from shimmers. Any of the dazzlers or sprays that I used from the SpiegelMom Scraps, I'll make sure I link those below so that you guys can see that. This is Whitey Tidy that I mixed in with the green. I believe the green is actually not from Jody's store, but if you guys ever see a shimmers product that you want to, Jody to get, just shout out in the comments below, like of my videos or some of the other SpiegelMom ladies and sparklers, and we'll talk with Jody, or you could always message Jody as well and just say, hey, I'm interested in this color, because there are a ton of colors, and she's always asking if we have any recommendations for things that we would like to see in the shop. So, and they're just a fun little thing to use and play around with. So I'm deciding that I'm going to use that plaid or buffalo check plaid on the one side. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what side I want. This notebook is actually starting to get pretty full. This is a Scrapping Wonders notebook, and it's using the Tomoe River paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's really thin though, so that's just something that you might want to keep in mind depending on how you want to use it. So there are a whole different ways that you could use it, but what I'm going to do is create what looks kind of like a present, and I'm gonna put, so you've seen me wrap it around, and it actually goes underneath the layer. And if I had thought about that, that's really what I wanted to do, I could have sewed it down first before putting down any adhesive, of course, because if you use adhesive, it's going to get on your sewing machine, and it's not so fun. But then I just decided to I just went simple, and I just used my stapler. I would have used a tiny attacher, except for it was too short. So and I actually stapled 2 sheets together. So, and this is just because I'm really starting to use up a lot of these pages, and they're really starting to buckle or like they're so thin that some of the pages are really thin, and I'm worried about them. Like, I don't want them to rip. They hold up pretty well, but I just, for my own safety, because I'm using a lot of stuff on this layers, I'm just going to double up the pages on the other side. And then that also helps my book be a little bit stronger, because Beth makes these really full. So for this Instagram hop, we all did traveler's notebook spreads, which is really fun for the holidays, like I said. And it's just a nice little way to add to your holiday scrapping. I've been doing a ton of December daily and other projects. And so it's kind of nice to do some scrapbooking, but in a smaller amount. So by putting it in a traveler's notebook, there you go. I have a quick and easy spread, and this took me less than an hour to do. Even with me fiddling around, it really didn't take too long. And so I had on the other side, you see me playing around with those two squares that are actually two triangles together to make a square with some golds. I don't know how well you can see the gold right now, but they are stitched in gold, so they look kind of quilt-like. It's a pattern that I've kind of done similar on some other projects, and I had a couple of these left over from a card that I made for Christmas, and so I'm just going to use these because I have them already, and I thought that they would go really, really well with some of the other aspects that I was thinking about adding, and I really wanted it to feel like crafty, and because that's what this spread is about. It's about getting crafty and just playing and having fun with my sequins during the holidays, because these holiday sequins have been amazing this year. I mean, they were amazing last year too. Don't get me wrong. And anything that Jody does is amazing. But it's just, it for me getting in my craft room among all the holiday stuff, and as crazy as it feels like, because I have a lot of stuff craftiness going on this month, it's just a way to like have an oasis basically and just have fun. I mean, sometimes we just have to step back and have a little bit of us time, and me playing around is that. So I'm just working on some layers. I have that circle that is actually a circle that of paper from the Falola collection. And even though the red is a little bit different, only a little bit peeks out in the end, so it's not that big of a deal. And that is not part of the kit. That copper washi tape is also not part of the kit that I'm using. It was from, it's Dear Lizzie, but it was from a different click kit. So I'm just kind of grabbing in stash. A washi tape is a really fun thing to use in your traveler's notebooks too, because it doesn't add a lot of bulk to your pages. And that's one thing that I found out just in general, that I don't mind the bulk, but sometimes if you add so much, in the end, it really bulks up your notebooks. And if that's not the look that you're going for, something like washi tape really helps. And so now I'm just looking through some stuff that I had from my kit, from like the little bits packs of simple stories, and I'm just trying to figure out what I think is going to look good. And I really liked that Very Merry, and I like how it says Very Merry Holiday Craft. So it's just kind of fun, a cheeky, fun way of, talking about holiday crafting. And so I'm just going to use some of these flowers because I really love these floral sprays on with this collection just turned out so nice. And then I'm going to work with this, and I put that up a little bit, and I thought about adding another, so I was going to add the pine cone there, and then I decided I don't really like it there. I didn't like something else being up there and kind of covering up some of more of that stitching that I did. So I decided to add it up above that Very Merry, but I'm going to kind of fool around with it again because I realized that I don't really just like the single pine cone. So it needs something else. And so I just kind of have to play around and layer it. And this is one thing that I found, because you're using such a small size and you don't have a lot of open space, that sometimes you have to figure out, you kind of have to move things around to get an idea of just spatially wise how it's going to look, because it is very different than a big layout. It's probably a lot closer to like an 8 by 10 size or 8.5 by 10, 11 type of layout where you have a longer space instead of, or even a 9 by 12 type of space. So now I'm just going to end up with using some sequins, and I am using some wood grain ones, and I believe they're the mahogany, yeah. And then I also use the woodsy sequin pack, holiday sequin pack. So just nice and fun and similar colors, and it's the colors of the sequins in the picture, and so it just makes for really nice and fun with the greens and the reds, and that wood grain just really pops out and looks really cool with the snowflake stuff. So here are some close-ups. Like I said, I'll have some links below so that you can find all this information. And I did do my journaling around that black, those things. I just really like the way that it looks. It's very Maggie Holmes-ish. But I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys are having a great holiday season. Don't forget to take some time to relax. But I can't wait to see you guys later. Bye.